What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick, and in today's video we will be going over the first half of part 19 of the Master Key System by Charles F. Hannell. And as you guys know, in every single video like this, we go over questions and answers, questions in the beginning, answers in the end after the reading. So let's go ahead and get straight into what we are going to learn today. So number one, how are extremes placed in contrast? Number two, how are these separate entities? Number three, what is the one creative principle in the physical, mental, and spiritual world? Number four, how are we related to this creative principle? And number five, how does this creative principle become operative? So guys, without further ado, I'm going to get straight into the introduction of part 19 and then straight into part 19, the first half of part 19. And towards the end of the video, we will go over the answers to these questions you see on the screen right now. So without further ado, let's get into the introduction to part 19. Introduction to part 19. Fear is a powerful form of thought. It paralyzes the nerve centers, thus affecting the circulation of the blood. This, in turn, paralyzes the muscular system, so that fear affects the entire being, body, brain, and nerve, physical, mental, and muscular. Of course, the way to overcome fear is to become conscious of power. What is this mysterious vital force which we call power? We do not know, but then neither do we know what electricity is. But we do know that by conforming to the requirements of the law by which electricity is governed, it will be our obedient servant, that it will light our homes, our cities, run our machinery, and serve us in many useful capacities. And so it is with vital force, although we do not know what it is, and possibly may never know, we do know that it is a primary force which manifests through living bodies, and that by complying with the laws and principles by which it is governed, we can open ourselves to a more abundant inflow of this vital energy, and thus express the highest possible degree of mental, moral, and spiritual efficiency. This part tells of a very simple way of developing this vital force. If you put into practice the information outlined in this lesson, you will soon develop the sense of power which has ever been the distinguishing mark of genius. Alright guys, so part 19. The search for truth is no longer a haphazard adventure, but it is a systematic process and is logical in its operation. Every kind of experience is given a voice in shaping its decision. In seeking the truth, we are seeking ultimate cause. We know that every human experience is an effect. Then if we may ascertain the cause, and if we shall find that this cause is one which we can consciously control, the effect or the experience will be within our control also. Human experience will then no longer be the football of fate. A man will not be the child of fortune, but destiny. Fate and fortune will be controlled as readily as a captain controls his ship, or an engineer his train. All things are finally resolvable into the same element, and as they are thus translatable one into the other, they must ever be in relation and may never be in opposition to one another. In the physical world, there are innumerable contrasts, and these may for convenience sake, be designated by distinctive names. There are sizes, colors, shades, or ends to all things. There is a North Pole and a South Pole, an inside and outside, a seen and unseen. But these expressions merely serve to place extremes in contrast. They are names given to two different parts of one quantity. The two extremes are relative. They are not separate entities, but are two parts or aspects of the whole. In the mental world, we find the same law. We speak of knowledge and ignorance, but ignorance is but a lack of knowledge and is therefore found to be simply a word to express the absence of knowledge. It has no principle in itself. In the moral world, we again find the same law. We speak of good and evil, but good is a reality, something tangible, while evil is found to be simply a negative condition, the absence of good. Evil is sometimes thought to be a very real condition, but it has no principle, no vitality, no life. We know this because it can always be destroyed by good. Just as truth destroys error and light destroys darkness, so evil vanishes when good appears. There is, therefore, but one principle in the moral world. We find exactly the same law obtaining in the spiritual world. We speak of mind and matter as two separate entities, but clear insight makes it evident that there is but one operative principle, and that is mind. Mind is the real and the eternal. Matter is forever changing. We know that in the eons of time, 100 years is but as a day. If we stand in any large city and let the eye rest on the innumerable large and magnificent buildings, the vast array of modern automobiles, cellular telephones, the electric lights, and all the other conveniences of modern civilization, we may remember that not one of them was there just over a century ago. And if we could stand on the same spot in 100 years from now, in all probability, we should find that but few of them remained. In the animal kingdom, we find the same law of change. The millions and millions of animals come and go, a few years constituting their span of life. In the plant world, the change is still more rapid. Many plants and nearly all grasses come and go in a single year. When we pass to the inorganic, we expect to find something more substantial. But as we gaze on the apparently solid continent, we are told that it arose from the ocean. We see the giant mountain and are told that the place where it now stands was once a lake. And as we stand in awe before the great cliffs in the Yosemite Valley, we can easily trace the path of the glaciers which carried all before them. We are in the presence of continual change, and we know that this change is but the evolution of the universal mind, the grand process whereby all things are continually being created anew. And we come to know that matter is but a form which mind takes and is therefore simply a condition. Matter has no principle. Mind is the only principle. We have then come to know that mind is the only principle which is operative in the physical, mental, moral, and spiritual world. We also know that this mind is static, mind at rest. We also know that the ability of the individual to think is his ability to act upon the universal mind and convert into dynamic mind or mind in motion. In order to do this, fuel must be applied in the form of food, for man cannot think without eating, and so we find that even a spiritual activity such as thinking cannot be converted into sources of pleasure and profit except by making use of material means. It requires energy of some kind to collect electricity and convert it into a dynamic power. It requires the rays of the sun to give necessary energy to sustain plant life. So it also requires energy in the form of food to enable the individual to think and thereby act upon the universal mind. All right, guys, so that was the first half of part 19 of the Master Key System. So let's go ahead and get straight into the answers. All right, so number 1, how are extremes placed in contrast? They are designated by distinctive names such as inside and outside, top and bottom, light and dark, good and bad. Number 2, are these separate entities? No, they are parts or aspects of one whole. Number 3, what is the one creative principle in the physical, mental, and spiritual world? The universal mind, or the internal energy from which all things proceed. Number 4, how are we related to this creative principle? By our ability to think. And last but not least, number 5, how does this creative principle become operative? Thought is the seed which results in action, and action results in form. So, very, very important, guys. That is the end of the video, and I want to thank you guys for watching. As always, I truly appreciate it. Go ahead and smash that like button, help get this video out to more people. Tap the subscribe button to help us with our current goal on the channel to reach 1,000 subscribers. And if you have any questions, you guys can always email me directly at info@tycoontalk.xyz or leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know any topics you want me to cover or go more in depth about in the comment section below as well. And all of my links are in the description box below. So if you want to check out what I have for sale on my online store, my social medias, everything in between, go ahead and check that out in the description box below. And if you like this video, check out the other videos on my channel where I talk about how to make money with cryptocurrency, how to fix your credit, the financial markets, personal development, everything in between, man, much more. If you like this video, you will definitely like those videos. So go ahead, head on over to the playlist section on the channel, and you will see everything organized nice and neat over there. And as always, my friends, I want to thank you once again and send infinite abundance to you now and forever, my friends. I will see you again tomorrow. Peace.